Have you ever made tomato juice? Yeah, me neither. So this will be a new adventure. I have picked a bunch of green tomatoes and they've been ripening in paper bags in my garage. Nice and warm actually on top of the fridge. So I am picking through them every week, and as they come through, I'm coming up with some ideas on how to deal with them. So I am going to make some tomato juice. Never made it before, have a good recipe from my mother-in-law, so we're gonna see how it works. I might have done this, I think maybe for jam, but this is, I don't even know what you call it. A cone of silence? I don't know. It's a juicer thing with like a poker thing. So I'm sure there's some, specific name. But anyway, you can use it without the cheesecloth, but I'm putting a bit of cheesecloth in there only because I really want to make sure that most of the seeds are gone. I totally get that wearing white on tomato day is not my finest choice, but it's only laundry and we can test out the Tide detergent together. Anyways, I'm Lorianne from Stonehaven Shorts. If you are new to country living and new to preserving and just new to this lifestyle, so am I, and we can learn together. So today we're making tomato juice. Trying to be shorter because this is Stonehaven Shorts. I'm not going to go through the whole aspect of cutting up tomatoes and cooking them. That's pretty basic. So I had, this pot was pretty much full of ripe tomatoes. Make sure that they're ripe, very ripe. Riper the better. Cut them up so that they're easily to cook down, and I just cooked them until they ended up with this little tomato slop here. So then the next trick is to get it into here, squish it through so that it sucks out all the skin and the seeds, and all the juice will end up in here. So we'll just give that a quick little whirl, and maybe you can see it with me here and tell me if I'm doing it right or wrong. I want to make sure that my cheesecloth is not going to have any spots of any gaps in it. So sorry, I'm just readjusting here. Okay. Okay, the slotted spoon is probably not my best idea because I want everything to go through. So we'll use an actual schlepp ladle is what I used to call it. My mom used to call it. I didn't know actually it was anything else. Actually, a flipper is a schlepp ladle. I don't even know what that means. It's German, and I've never known it anything else. All right, so here we go. Move this closer to try and not do as much drippy drippers. And it's going to start going through instantly, so that's good. I'm just going to try and fill it up, for a fairly decent amount. And then I'll run the wooden poker thing through. There's nothing added to this tomatoes, by the way, right at this point. There will be like just a few ingredients. Salt, sugar, tomato paste, and lemon or lime. All right, so I've got this about 3/4 full in my little thing. And so I'm just gonna run this through, swirl it around. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but it seems to be going through as I move it through here. The juice is coming out the bottom very nicely. I've already prepared about, I think I've got 5 or 6 jars prepared. So you wanna make sure that's happening. You can do that while the tomatoes are cooking down. What we're looking for here is just our prep juice. So we will add all of our ingredients to the juice after it runs through this little mill. Now, apparently there are things out there called food mills. I've never seen one, I've never used one. Might be something to invest in, I don't know, I'll take a look at that. a little while ago I had seen flour mills and I thought, oof, that would really be cool. Might not help my low carb diet, but man, would that taste fantastic. Okay, so a lot of this juice is starting to just slow down a little bit, which tells me that I'm probably mushed through about as much as I can on that. And now what I'm not clear on is, do I take this muck out before I put more muck in, or do I just keep putting the muck in? I'm thinking it's going to be more of a hassle if I take the muck out. So I think I'm just going to put more in and we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to try this 2 or 3 times to try and get this juice moving, and we'll see what happens. I got a little impatient. I did take the muck out. That's what it came with my first couple of scoopfuls there. I didn't film my taking the muck out because I was quite certain it was not going to be a graceful event, and of course it wasn't. I would not suggest it because when I dumped it, and maybe I shouldn't have dumped it if I just took a spoon out, maybe that's what I would do next time. My cheesecloth, of course, came out, so I had to put another cheesecloth in. Okay, note to self, maybe just spoon out some, because there's still some juice in it. And I guess if I, just left it, drain for as long as humanly possible, then it would eventually all come out. I just don't have that much time in my life. So I'm trying to rush this maybe. And I think what I'll do is just scoop out. Ooh, my cheesecloth is kind of not super on this one. I'll just scoop out any of the pulp. There we go. Let's not call it muck. It's actually pulp. I'll scoop out the pulp if I needed to do that again. So, sorry. I know that you can't really see this here. I'll maybe do it this way. That's all I have. So really, I've only filled this up 3 times, and the juice is just, flowing through here. It's doing a great job. I found that rolling it around to the edges helps. So you could try that. If you don't have one of these things, honestly, I don't know what else you could do unless you had a food mill. Perhaps just over, a strainer and a cheesecloth, and then you just let it go and then just push through with a spoon. That would take maybe a little bit longer, but it's a labor of love. So yeah, I don't know. I just never really made it. Honestly, I had this little doohickey thing on display for years and years and years. I didn't actually use it. And I believe that it came from my great aunt, not great aunt, just normal aunt, who lived in BC, and I think she had a lot of fruit that she did, so maybe it was taking out the seeds of her fruit. But you can see how, the tomato is just giving her. Nice down there, it's going fast. And move things around. Okay, we'll let this drip through. And I'm going to put it back into the pot, and we'll go through the ingredients to bring it to a boil. Maybe we'll have some juice yet. Here we have it. This is the amount of pulp that I got out of this size of tomatoes. That's the amount of pulp I have. This is the amount of juice that I got out of that. So, size-wise, for this pot, if it's full of tomatoes, I get half of it of juice. That's not bad, right? Now, what to do with the pulp? I don't know. I am going to do a little bit of research and see. I do make a lot of my own broths and soups, so if there's a way that I can repurpose that pulp, I certainly will. Because there's a lot of seeds in it, I don't know. I don't know what the uses are. So, anyways, here we're gonna go and put in the rest of our ingredients. Now, this is very low sugar, very low salt. 4 teaspoons of pickling salt. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can always add salt and pepper to your tomato juice once you have it in your glass, so I think that's good. Sugar adds a little bit of bite to it, so 4 teaspoons. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't think you need any more sugar than that. Tomatoes are fantastic as they are. And 1 13-ounce can of tomato paste. We'll see if I can get most of this tomato paste out. Now, really, this recipe is for 4 quarts of juice. So I don't think I have 4 quarts here. I think I have about maybe 5 pints. But regardless, I like to have things a little flavorful, so it's not gonna kill me. All right, I got about as much tomato paste out as I can possibly get. Now, just because I like to go against the flow, and also it is a little bit recommended, just put a little bit of lemon or lime juice in. I prefer lime juice. So there we go, about a half a teaspoon of that. And that's all you need. Give that a stir. We're gonna boil that up now to a nice rolling boil. Simmer it down. By that time our jars will be ready and we'll seal it up. Maybe we even have a taste. All right, I boiled it up. I don't know if you can see here, but I got a quart and 1 3/4 of a pint. That's what I got out of that. Now, oddly enough, I'm holding a little bamboo spoon here because I have a little bit of foam on top. So I'm just running my spoon in and I'm just gonna remove that foam. You know, it could be totally safe, I don't know. When I see jars of tomato juice, I don't normally see foam. So I thought, well, let's just get rid of it. Maybe it has to do with, you know, my well water maybe there's a little bit of water in it or something, I don't know. But let me just get that out because my juice has been sitting for about 5 minutes. Yeah, and the jars and when the juice is in is like super hot, so be careful. I don't like to cool things down too much because I think it helps with preserving if you keep things at a higher temperature. So yeah, you might have to use some oven mitts or something. But yeah, so there we have it. I have removed most of my foam. I'm feeling a little bit more confident about it all. So I'm gonna throw some lids on these, get them in the processor, hot bath them for about 15-20 minutes in a hot bath, and then it should be ready to go. Now this one, because it isn't entirely full, I'm just gonna put it in the fridge and we're just gonna use that. So I really am only sealing up 2. I know I have a lot more tomatoes, so I'm not concerned. I'll just keep making batches. One thing that you cannot replace is the taste of this used in your own homemade tomato soup. Oh, is it good? You can use it to make tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce. You can use it to cover over cabbage rolls. There's so many uses for this. Throw some beer and tomato juice together. Why not? This tastes like no other. I'm sorry, but you cannot replicate this taste. And the fact that there's no seeds in it. So if you do have some digestive issues or some irritability where you try and stay away from seeds, this method certainly helps. There's not one seed in all of this. There you have it. That's tomato juice, folks. Now, what to do with this? Might be another video. Anyways, until then, I'm Lorianne from Stonehaven Shorts. I hope you learned a little bit like I did today. We'll do it again.